is our 10th episode, right, Bray? It's our 10th episode?
Yes, it is.
10th episode.
So I guess, it's a milestone. So
a milestone, cool. Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
And we have our 10th, no, not our 10th guest, because we didn't have guests at first. Yeah. So we have our next guest.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what number you are.
Yeah, we have our next guest. Andrew, how do you pronounce your last name?
It's Abban. Abban.
Abban. Okay.
So
that's not
guys, people like pronounce my name different ways. Besides the Andrew, I mean, everybody should be able to get Andrew right, Andrew. Yeah. But like my last name can either be Abban or Abban, but it's just Abban.
That's the one I was going to go with. I was going to go with Abban. Yeah, that's the one I was going to go with.
Very Irish.
Oh, okay.
And actually, my middle name is Andrew. So,
are you Irish, Brett? Brett, are you Irish?
I am Irish. Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that.
Just made it be.
If your grandmother's, I think it's if your grandparents were Irish citizens, you could become an Irish citizen.
Oh, okay.
I think so. Maybe it's Scotland.
Yeah, for me, so my dad's side has the Irish, and then on my mom's side, we're half Italian. So my mom's 100% Italian, so I'm half Italian on my mom's side. And there is a whole thing where we could get Italian citizenship. Like one of my aunts is looking into that right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I could get Italian citizenship too, because both my paternal grandparents were Italian citizens.
Okay.
So, yeah. I would never move to Italy for certain reasons, but that's for a different show.
It's a quick vacation, and that's all.
Brett's twitching because he hates when I talk about this guy's stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm just like, what are you going to say?
Anyways, Andrew, you're joining us from the Boston area. That's pretty cool. How far out do you live from the city?
About 40 minutes. 40 minutes from the city.
Okay. So you're kind of like in the same type of setup where I am, because with traffic and stuff, I'm about like 35, 40 minutes outside the city too, with traffic.
Oh, yeah. I'm more closer to Cape Cod than I am to the city, actually, believe it or not. I'm only 20 minutes from Cape Cod.
Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Look at my mug.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Yeah. No, actually, there's a joke, Andrew. Whenever Brett's talking to me, he'll be like, "Oh, well, my family was that time we were at the Cape." I'm like, "Okay, pinky out. We get it. You went to the Cape. We get it."
Hey, it's a good spot. What can we say? It's a good spot.
Yeah. My grandparents lived there. Yeah.
I've never been. In fact, my husband and I are trying to visit all 50 states. Massachusetts is still on the list. We haven't been yet.
And you're so close.
And we're so close. Yeah. There's 2 states on the East Coast we haven't been to yet. It's Massachusetts and Florida. So.
Wow. Yeah. So that means you just skipped around Massachusetts and you went to New Hampshire. You went to Maine. You said, screw Massachusetts. I'm just going to go around it.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your border there in if you're so close to Cape Cod?
So it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It's probably like a Bortle 7 or 8. It's pretty bad because you got to think too, like being on the south coast of Massachusetts, you're between Boston and you're between Providence. So basically 2 major cities, double the light pollution,
Okay.
Some of my nights, like if I obviously go closer to the city, they look like Brett's, like, no offense, Brett, they look like your sky in Chicago.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yep.
Yeah. So, but we can, it's like, you're gonna see like some bright stars here. Maybe on a good night, on like when there's no moon in the sky, you can actually make out a little bit in the Milky Way, but that's only like straight above, like nowhere else. Basically, horizon's all blurred out. Everything. It's just a typical 7 or 8 because it's so tough to get dark skies now. So
it is tough.
Yeah.
It is tough.
Yeah.
And speaking of dark skies, we're gonna go a little out of order here because you just brought up dark skies. I really, really want to talk about Cherry Springs. That's
oh yeah.
We have a couple things we want to cover on the show today, but I really want to talk about Cherry Springs. We're super excited. You were just there in June with a bunch of the guys. And Brett and I are going in August, and then we're all going to Black Forest.
That's just
it's gonna be so much fun.
We're getting the entire Astro family together, which is like insane. I've sent you guys all the pictures of our whole entire group, but now we have you two coming. We have our buddy Matt from Astronomy coming. We have Alex who does the Today in Space podcast. We have just a crazy amount of people coming that are very close to this Astro family.
I just got his book also. So yeah.
Yeah, Brett
that'll
just
be
got his
cool to
book.
meet him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and Willie, who was
Willie's coming
That's
too.
right. That's right. Yep.
Yeah, Willie's coming too. Yeah.
Yep.
Willie was a guest on the show a couple episodes ago.
This is a great episode.
Yeah. Thanks. So just lay it out for me, Andrew. You show up. It's the first night. Explain to me what the sky looks like.
Well, I mean, first, I'm going to tell you from my history of going to Cherry Springs. The first day that we show up, it's always cloudy. Straight up. It's always
good.
cloudy.
Just a rule of thumb.
Like this past June, we showed up. We're like, oh, yeah, it's going to be a great night. It looked like the forecast was going to be clear for about 4 hours. It was, except that you had a lot of lightning flashes from storms out in Cleveland. And so we're like, you know what? We're not even going to get image tonight. We're just going to put everything aside and just watch this lightning show happen. And Matt's going to be on the speaker just playing some really cool astronomy type of music. And yeah, we're just chilling out the first night. But that's like basically all my prior first nights there. Been pretty cloudy. But if it's clear, we all usually just like set up your camping site, say hi to everybody. Now that our whole Astro family is so connected that we all just go up, we all hug each other. We're like, hey, long time no see. But just like setting up, making sure everything's all set, ready to go. And then then it's showtime basically at that point. I mean, then you just wait for nightfall.
Showtime. Yeah, no, I can't wait. And you're camping too. Like, I just want to make viewers know that this is camping. So I can't remember the last time I went camping. I don't think I've ever gone camping.
I went camping in middle school. So
okay.
But
I was like, how many decades ago? So
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys, though, the camping's worth it. It's definitely worth it.
Yeah. So I think what I'm most looking forward to, there's a few things I'm looking forward to at Black Forest. I'm looking forward to meeting all you guys in person, first. And two, I'm looking forward to just being around a lot of people who are just as passionate about this as I am, and I know as Brett is. So I know that's just going to be awesome. Now, the new rig you have, though, did you bring that in June?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That was the maiden voyage for it, right?
That was the maiden voyage.
Yeah, that was the maiden voyage. That was the first light with that thing out in Cherry Springs, and there was a lot of issues. Of issues.
Yeah, like what? What kind of issues?
The guide scope was out of focus, so using an off-axis guider, you don't really know if it's going to be in the focus because you're using basically the main telescope's tube for reference. Basically, you know how when you plug it into the Air app, it automatically adjusts for you. If you're using like a separate guide camera, you know the exact millimeter focal length of that camera and that guide scope configuration. Putting up those little like 120 from ZWO, those little guide cameras, and putting that into like a big massive tube for an off-axis guider, you don't know what to expect. So at that point, I was out of guiding on the first night because it was just completely out of focus. We could see a little bit of a donut, but it couldn't actually adjust. Like I couldn't adjust the camera in just a little bit more into the slot to get that focus.
Interesting. Can you explain what an off-axis guider is? Because actually, I think I have seen that. So is it perpendicular to the optical train? Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you think of it, you have, for instance, here, you have let's just go like this for a minute. This is your main camera, your main configuration. So this is actually the last, like the back end of the telescope, the butt. And then basically your imaging rig starts from here on all the way to here, basically. So for me, it goes a focal reducer, and then it goes the off-axis guider, so where my hand is, and then it goes the filter wheel, and then camera. So the off-axis guider, basically, the guider camera is basically pointed out like this. So if that makes sense, it slides into a slot, basically on the side, like perpendicular, and then basically everything else goes out backwards, keeps going straight. So it's like a mirror. It's like a flipped mirror. If you're putting like an eyepiece through like a diagonal or something like that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you sent me a photo of your rig yesterday, and I saw it, and I was like, "How the heck does that work?" That was just like right over my head.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And what's the reason for that? Like, is there a benefit to doing it that way instead of like putting it on I guess, I mean, you can see mine and Nick's rigs. It's like parallel to our scopes. Yeah. Yeah.
I would think, the main reason why I did is because I want everything to be together, because I've shot night sky with Newtonians. This is my first time shooting with the refractor. but I didn't know how the weight's going to be. I'd rather keep the weight kind of just like leveled out. So basically the whole tube is just one solid piece without putting really anything on top of it or putting anything on the side of it, because I don't want the weight to hug to one side or, hug to one end of the telescope.
Okay.
This is your first time with a refractor.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to go big or go home,
Well, yeah. I mean, that telescope. How long is it? How many feet is that telescope?
Ooh, like height wise?
Yeah, like how long is it? Like if you put it up next to a human.
So height wise, I'll tell you this, but I don't know the exact height of it, like from lengthwise. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All I can tell you is that it's huge. The photos really don't do it justice. But with everything connected, like the pier extension for my mount and all that stuff, it's about 7, almost 8 feet tall.
That's insane.
Yeah.
See, I knew it had to be really tall because you told me the one photo you sent me, you're like, yeah, it's only a couple inches below the ceiling. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I actually did not realize that scale. So like when you have photos of like below it, that is like eye level practically.
Yeah.
I was imagining, whenever I have pictures of my rig, like from below, I'm like crouching below it.
Yeah. Like I'm actually on the ground trying to take a picture of it.
You guys will see it out at Cherry Springs, definitely, because it's
Yeah.
Thorn lets me borrow one of his Starpoint Australis tents, and so we all go walking around the park and whatnot before nightfall, just to check out everybody else's setups and just to talk to people and see what they're shooting for the night. But like as we're like walking back, you guys will see that my setup is basically the freaking front of the thing is sticking out of the whole entire tent, so you can see it from like 2 miles away. I kid you not.
I love that.
That's funny.
That's like some NASA stuff. I love that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And we have a few people who are non-astro folks who watch this podcast. And I just want to briefly explain. Cherry Springs is some of the darkest skies that you can find, and it's just awesome viewing of the night sky. It's a state park in Pennsylvania, and astrophotographers love to go to Cherry Springs because of how clear the sky is there from light pollution. So I just want to throw that out there. I know we have some folks, shout out to my coworkers who listen to this podcast. So yeah.
And is Cherry Springs, it's one of the bigger star parties, at least perception wise, I feel like it is.
Oh yeah, I would think so as well. Yeah. Especially in the Northeast, definitely. Yeah. Definitely in the Northeast. We don't have really much going on in the Northeast, So it's all worth it.
I had an English teacher. My English teacher, her name was Mrs. Barrett. She was she left teaching and she became a park ranger at Badlands National Park. And she was telling me about a star party they have there in July. So that is on my list for next summer. So Brett, knock that off your calendar.
Yes.
And you, Andrew, and we're going to Badlands National Park in July next year because they have a star party out there.
Hey, I can do Cherry Springs, Badlands. I want to go out to Nebraska next August, and I want to just like go back to Cherry Springs and live there. So I mean, there's that.
Live at Cherry Springs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Brett and I aren't camping August.
Yeah.
I think I can only do one camping trip a year. Anyways, we rented a house, and the person who owns the house that rents it out, she claims the sky is darker at her house than at the park. I don't know if that's true, but that's.
I guess we'll actually be able to compare.
Right.
We'll be able to compare that. Yeah. We'll be able to compare that.
And she was very nice because when we initially rented the house,
you're such a doofus.
Yeah, we didn't look at the moon phases, and so we rented the place for it was like August 20th or something. But then after the fact, we were like, wait a second, we need to look at Stellarium and see like what the moon phase is. And we realized that it was not the new; it was like almost full moon. So we did the weekend before, and she was very nice. Yeah, she let us change it.
Yep. Yeah, she was totally like, oh yeah, no problem. I totally get it. I have astrophotographers come here all the time. So
yeah, and she wants to see our photos. She was very excited about it.
Yeah, she said to share our photos with her, and she'll put them on the listing on VRBO. Yeah, so so it should be pretty cool. But
people
with
are
this
very sweet out there.
Yeah, no, I can't wait.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a whole different country. Really, it's just
you say that again. So different.
Yeah, it's so different than, especially along the East Coast here and what you got going on out there in Chicago, Brett. It's just like a totally different country, really. Mm-hmm. And everyone out there is so nice. My family owns some land out in Western Pennsylvania. Everyone's so nice, so friendly. So it should be a good time. But Andrew, I wanted to cover something else with your new scope because you're not just using it to take images. You actually want to do like scientific research with it.
Oh,
right?
big time. Big time. You kidding me?
Yeah. What kind of scientific research do you want to do with it?
I want to do exoplanet transits, something that I've actually have a little bit of experience in. Long story short, we have a college that's down the road, about maybe 10 minutes from me, and they actually have a NASA granted program at their observatory. And their program is granted just for research on exoplanet transits. So every single night, we'll have somebody like a student at the observatory basically just like they pick a target. This is where this exoplanet's going to happen. And then on a spreadsheet, this exoplanet transit can happen anytime between now and the end of the year, but I have to photograph it every clear night that I get in case I don't miss the transit. That's something that I want to do because then I can send that data to NASA and mark down this transit happened here. It helps them study a lot more of the exoplanets and how they act around their own star. And so that's kind of really what I
so cool.
want to get going with. You know, I mean, very soon, but got to get the kinks out of this setup first before we jump to the next level of things.
That's so cool. And I just want to briefly explain what it is, what we're talking about. We're talking about how, and correct me if I'm wrong, Andrew, we're talking about being able to see a planet go in front of its host star because of the dimming of the light from the star. We can tell that a planet went in front of the star. That's correct, right?
You got it right.
Yeah, okay. Cool. And we've actually even gotten to the point now where we can, not we, because I'm not doing this, but NASA and folks like you doing this research and the European Space Agency, they can look at the light coming through and actually detect what's in the atmosphere of those exoplanets. Is that accurate?
Mm-hmm.
They can.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, JWST does that.
Yep.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
That is so cool that we're able to do that, and that you're going to be able to do some of that work from your backyard.
I would hope so. Hope so very soon. So that's why I went with the monochrome system. Oh yeah, but it's only done through monochrome cameras, and each individual filters, like a red filter, green filter, blue luminance. Basically, you don't really have to shoot that stuff in hydrogen alpha O3 or S2 because you're not looking for a pretty image. You're looking for just a light signature. So using all that, especially like a luminance filter, you get a better light signature if it actually happens compared to, shooting with a dim red or hydrogen alpha filter.
Yeah. And then also with your acquisition, are you using a special software? Because you use an ASI Air, but would you be using a PC and like using Nina and or other specialty software?
It would be Nina. But I have to get it to configure to my ASI Air. Luckily, somebody in my astronomy family that you guys are going to meet, Jameson, he does a lot of IT stuff. His whole setup at Cherry Springs is it's like a walking computer. So, but it's usually like Nina and it's all that fun stuff.
So is it technically true that you could discover a new exoplanet? Like, is that a goal of yours to discover a new exoplanet? Or like, what would be your ultimate dream goal here?
I would love to discover something that nobody's discovered before. Like maybe not an exoplanet because they happen so frequently, believe it or not, these transits. But I would rather discover a supernova outburst and just name my initials right after it, like a number something, and then put my initials next to it and be like, "That's mine, not yours. Get out of here."
I love that. That'd be so cool.
Oh yeah,
that'd be so cool. Yeah. So wait, like these transits in front of the stars, like these are really common?
They can be very common. It just depends on where they are in the sky. Usually you don't want to, around here, you don't want to photograph exoplanet transits if you locate one below, very close to the horizon, because obviously light pollution, you're not going to be able to see anything. The exoplanets that we typically tend to go for are stuff that's straight up towards the meridian. It's easier for us to gather light. It's easy for us to watch that light signature. And then if something does happen, it happens. So then we can log that data and then submit it out or do just a report on it and just all the basic stuff that NASA basically asks on their guidelines of here you go, do this for us, send this out, we'll get back to you and we'll let you know what we think of your findings.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Well, and that's cool because I've heard of people at remote observatories like at Starfront and other places. I feel like they're doing stuff like that too. So it's so cool how citizen research is just possible now with our commercial equipment.
I think it's just it's kind of insane. It's a leading technology.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I got to ask a question because this
Ask
is
away.
cool to me. When you're trying to cache one of these transients, like, are you taking, how do you do it? Are you taking, like, how are you capturing it? I guess my question is.
Honestly, you
So are
don't
you
want to
taking
capture past
photos?
like yeah. So you're taking photos. You don't want to
Okay.
shoot past like a specific time, maybe like 10. I mean, not 10 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes. You still have that typical astrophotography aspect in there where you're guiding. You're locked on to a target. You're tracking that target. It's more just like planning out your exposure times, like much more less than an actual like, hey, I'm just photographing the sky, grabbing some detail on something like that, and then call it a night. You know what I mean? You're just consistently like making those photos that you get, those subs flying through your laptop or your computer throughout the entire night, hoping to catch something. So it's like maybe like about like 2 minutes,
Okay.
2 to 5 minute subs and all. So
Gotcha.
pretty
Okay.
cool.
Got it.
Okay.
Do you do the same target every night, or are you kind of like moving around to different parts of the sky?
The same target, the same target.
Okay.
Sometimes, obviously, you have it with the NASA granted research program that they have over there. You have different students who have different exoplanets. You have students that
Okay.
want to study different things. But yeah, I'm just gonna say it's pretty damn cool. I'm still learning a little bit more about it for myself. But it's a really cool thing to actually do some research on this stuff because nobody else really wants to do it sometimes. And I'm like, I got the setup for it. I would love to see if I could find something.
Yeah. What got you into this, Andrew? Like, what made you say, this is what I want to do?
The research or astronomy?
The research
The
aspect
research.
of it. Yeah.
I was just fascinated by how my friends basically at the college were just capturing so much and getting so much research and data done and just submitting their findings and just like seeing that smile on their faces to be like, all right, this is motivating me and this is very much like kind of hit me in the heart where I really want to discover something. So I really want to be that person who understands how the universe works in a way that we can't see it from, sometimes our backyard or we don't know what the hell is going on in outer space, but I would love to find out what's going on out there. Maybe that planet's habitable. Maybe the sun's gonna blow up. Who knows? I mean, there's so much unknown out there, which kind of motivates me to do that research and just like deliver it to everybody because there's also a lot of stuff behind the scenes that nobody will talk about in astronomy. So, and I just want to be that guy who just gets it out there. It's always the wonder of question.
I love that.
Yeah. Well, and it's so cool to think. I feel like, I mean, we've said this before. Like the night sky is free. Like it's for everyone. Like you can, like anyone can look up in the night sky. So it's cool that like you can do this from your backyard. Like you don't need to travel to another planet to do this. Yet you were looking so far. So it's very good. It's like you're traveling through space and time. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty damn cool.
That's so cool. If I wouldn't be killed for spending a ton of money to buy a whole new setup like that, I would actually maybe consider doing it. But
well, then I'm also curious, is there any type of incentive or financial benefit other like in doing this? Or is it for the passion and the love of it?
It's for the passion and for the love, honestly. I'm just like, because I believe it or not, I never went to the college down the road. I just like started going there when I was a little kid and I just fell in love with all that stuff. And then I got myself acclimated into astronomy, astrophotography, and I wanted to know more. I'm actually still currently enrolled at Southern New Hampshire University, finishing up a website degree in graphic design. So it's kind of funny if you think of it.
Cool.
But long story short, going back to your question, you can get paid for it, but I know most of the kids don't want to get paid for it because it's a passion thing. It's the love of the game, basically. Get your research out there. So, but there are jobs for this type of research. But for me personally, for the love, all for the love. But I know my one of my close friends, Caitlin, who does the Think Space Instagram handle and does a lot of TikTok videos for like all the scientific research. She's actually done that program, so she would know a lot more than what I would know in that program. So, which you guys will meet her out at Cherry Springs.
Cool. I met somebody else today, somebody who just randomly followed me and I followed back, and I've been posting stories on my Instagram. I found that I actually enjoy talking on camera. Who would have thunk? But anyways, he saw my story where I said I was going to the star party. And he's like, yo, I'm going to the star party. So I'm already meeting other people who are going to be at the star party. So it's going to be pretty excited. I want to go back to what we were just talking about, though. It almost seems like Brett is begging you to be a capitalist or something.
Oh,
no, he's like begging you to make money off of this.
No, I'm not. Like, I'm trying to, you know what? And that's a problem. That is a problem because it's like, it's ingrained in my mind to be like, yes, how do you capitalize on this? Oh man.
That's so funny.
Trust me, I wish I made money off of it. I really, really do. You know,
me and Brett talk all the time about how do we make this our full-time job?
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
how do I go about making this my full-time job? Because I just enjoy it so much.
Well, I
know
enjoy
two
it
of you
and
do.
the freedom of it.
Yeah.
I mean, just like you're saying, like the love of the game. It's like the fact that we're so passionate about this. And actually, like you were saying towards the beginning of the episode, it is so cool to just like look up and like it makes it like, because I'm very into like the philosophical aspect of it too. Like just as much as the science and the astronomy of it all, the philosophical nature of it, like the way it just makes you think about the vastness of the universe, like what is up there. We don't know what's going on there. So it's just, makes you think.
freedom.
Makes you think
It's freedom. There's so much unknown. There's so much. I mean, Brett does have a point though, Nick. There's so much unknown out there that you can capitalize off of it. Not gonna lie.
Absolutely you can. Yeah.
The space is infinite, and we have the tools.
And you know what? That is why the SpaceX IPO was so big, because they basically made it so that the market cap included a lot of unknown space territory of, resources that they can capitalize on. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at the night sky, I just am in awe of how like minuscule and small we are. But then it's also amazing to think that we're able to sit in our backyard and capture it all with a telescope. You're able to see exoplanets, planets in other solar systems across, in our local part of the galaxy. Like it's really wild to think about. And as somebody, whoever watches the podcast know, I'm a huge believer in aliens. As somebody who believes in aliens, like the concept of there being life like flourishing throughout the galaxy to me is just like really cool. So that's what I think about when I'm sitting on my sidewalk viewing the sky, which I'll be doing tonight, which I know you are too, Andrew. Brett, it's cloudy for you tonight, right?
I'll have to check again,
Wow.
but
yeah.
I know.
On the only clear night that we have, it's cloudy for you.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, we haven't had a clear night on the East Coast in like a week and a half. It's been so cloudy.
We just got thunderstorms and clouds and more thunderstorms and whatnot. Yeah.
It's been crazy. Yeah, but I'll be out tonight. It's funny because the last time I was out, I stepped foot. I don't know. I was on my sidewalk for 2 minutes, and a neighbor already stopped to talk to me. So
cool.
No.
So I know tonight I'll have a lot of folks stopping by, which I really truly enjoy. I like it, especially if I have an image up on the iPad and I can show them like, yo, look, this is what I'm looking at right now. It's pretty cool.
Mm. Well, yeah, and when we did the fair last month, I was amazed at how many people are so fascinated by it. And then also like there's so many tangential passions, like a lot of photographers were coming up because I mean obviously this is astrophotography, but it's like there's so much overlap, so much interest by so many people, and the demographics that were coming by, like every age, people, like literally, like we had a kid who maybe was like 10 years old, and he just started like naming all the moons of Jupiter, like every single one, like dozens of them.
Awesome.
Like so like people really are like this is a hobby that is for everyone, which is so cool.
And I'm chuckling because Brett also noticed something else at the festival when we were in the tent. It was all the middle-aged women who loved coming up and talking to me because of all. Somehow I met all these folks through my job, and it was just one after another coming up to me. And Brett's like, "How do you know all these middle-aged women?"
It's really funny.
Yeah, so that Brett learned something else that day too.
Yep.
So to keep us on time here, I want to get us into some of our reoccurring segments. So Andrew, we talk about something that's cosmic yet brave. We talk about what we're imaging right now, and we go through some other segments that we do. So we're gonna start this show now with the reoccurring segments. So the cosmic yet brave, it can be anything you want. I mean, astrophotography. Usually, I like to make it a little controversial. So that's what it's supposed to be. Just yesterday, I had my note on Instagram as a Bigfoot, and I could tell people who've watched the podcast because they instantly knew why I had the Bigfoot as my note on Instagram. But anyways, so yeah, Andrew, the floor is yours. Cosmic yet brave.
Ooh, cosmic yet brave. Yeah. Oh God, there's so much stuff going on in the world right now for myself. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
It's both. I can say both cosmic but brave, but I'm trying to be brave as much as I can. I would say, honestly, I think a brave part is I got to go back to my personal life for a second. Doing websites, I got my first website client a couple weeks ago, and believe it or not, I met him out of Cherry Springs. And I don't know if you guys have heard of him. Appalachian Astro Works. His name's Aaron, and he has an insane setup, guys. And I'm gonna have to send you photos after this show. Like, he has a setup of like 4 eyes. He has like 4 telescopes, basically 4 camera lenses, 4 ZWO cameras attached to the same mount. And then he has like an old film camera he uses for astrophotography. But I'm going to stay on track here. I am doing his website over for him. So, and he wanted a whole redesign and balancing out astrophotography, website design, schoolwork, a part-time job Monday through Wednesday, early in the morning. It's a lot of freaking work, but I'm brave. I'm going through it. So I'll tell you that for a goddamn fact.
There you go. Mm-hmm. See, Brett, he is a capitalist. See, you were trying to make him be a capitalist. He is a capitalist.
I'm just trying to pass my time, all right? That's all that matters. I'm just trying to pass my time.
I'm just kidding. No, hey, in my life, I was working full time. I was elected onto my borough council as a borough council president, and I was going to school. And so I know how crazy that can be. And looking back on it now, I didn't even know how I did it. So more power to you. I understand how crazy that must be for you right now. So
yeah.
I think it is great to take all that on at once.
It definitely is. Yeah, I was doing grad school and working as well at the same time, and I wouldn't be able to do that today. So
yeah, me either.
Good on you. Yep.
I'm trying.
So Brett, what's cosmic yet brave in your world today, my friend?
Let's see. I guess because we've already been talking about it, I'll just keep the trend going, talking about capitalism. my cosmic yet brave, and I'm just, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I'm just going to say very simply that a system that's based on extracting resources for profit will never end well. So that's it. I think that's just, I don't even need to say the word capitalism. I just think if you sit and think on that thought, you can see how it just will not bode well for a planet, for a species to just continually extract without thinking about the well-being of the people on the planet.
Well, it's not controversial to say that our resources in the planet are not infinite.
Exactly.
So,
yes.
Yeah, they are not infinite. Eventually, the things that we mine from the planet, the resources we take from the planet, will eventually be all used.
Yes, exactly.
And
so, yeah. And you know what? Actually, bringing it to the philosophical side as well, it is fascinating to think, because sometimes I think when I'm, looking up stargazing, even the systems that we have, like what I just described, they're not like laws of the universe. It's not a physical law of the universe that we have to extract resources like this. So I do, I do find that fascinating as well, just to kind of think about what needs to happen, or what laws of the universe maybe have caused us to kind of have that inclination as a species. I don't know. Very fascinating stuff to ponder. Yeah.
Yeah. This is going to get some controversial.
It probably will.
Here we go.
Drama cell.
It almost gets on the,
Yeah.
I didn't make it political. I didn't.
That wasn't political at all. This is we're just talking about, shooting the shit.
No,
it's not political. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, the resources are not infinite.
Yeah.
I mean, we're eventually And I think the fact of the matter is, if we burn every bit of coal and oil in the earth, like this planet's not going to be habitable. So like that's just putting all of that carbon into the atmosphere. I mean, I don't understand how you could disagree with that putting all that carbon dioxide into the atmosphere wouldn't cause hell on Earth. But anyway.
Yeah.
So,
well, and what's the orbital, the new thing that is going to
reflect orbital?
Yeah,
reflect
orbital. Yeah. That, and that's a perfect example of us just like, it's just like unregulated, I guess, extraction of honestly resources beyond our planet, because it's literally like, how do we make the sun a resource that we can use 24/7 without any regard for how it's going to impact the planet? So I hope that it does not get bad. Like right now, it's just the prototype that they've gotten approval for. I hope that it doesn't get past that.
Yeah.
And that enough people will speak up and that enough regulation might catch up to basically say like, oh, you know what? Actually, this is not a good idea for us to have thousands of satellites reflecting the sun back at towns. Unnecessary. Yeah, we shouldn't do that.
Yeah, that's
couldn't have agreed more. Yeah, couldn't have agreed more.
Yeah. So my cosmic yet brave. And I have a feeling people are going to go to my page and like zoom in on my image and be like, oh yeah, I can tell. My cosmic Wait.
Your audience, man. I've seen some crazy things that, yeah.
Oh my God. Some of the things people say, it's so funny. Some of the things that I say on the show is just hoping that they make comments in the comment section. Anyways, my cosmic yet brave is I have never, ever used a calibration frame. Ever. Never used one. I've never used one. Never taken darks, never taken flats, never taken bias, nothing. I never used a calibration frame.
That hurts my heart.
Yeah.
That hurts my heart.
Yeah. And I helped whenever I've helped Nick, like especially with the early processing, when I would help you and like you'd be like, oh, I have this giant dust spot in the middle of the Andromeda galaxy. And I'm like, well, if you just took flat frames, it wouldn't be there.
Yeah, but we're all straightened out now. I got I don't even know where it is. I got this thing, sprays my lenses. That super blaster, like air blaster. So
there we go.
To get the dust off of everything. But yeah, that's my cosmic get brave. And that's why I said people are going to zoom in on my stuff now and be like, oh, well, you can tell.
Be like, dude, there's a dust particle right on the side of your screen. What the hell?
So yeah, I've never used one. So
which, with dedicated astro cameras, like with cooled cameras, actually the 2600 specifically, I have seen reviews that suggest you don't need calibration frames or like you don't need dark frames. But obviously it's best practice to have them.
Was that for the colored camera? Because I shoot with the 2600 monochrome, and monochrome imaging, okay. you need calibration frames to stack an image. Mandatory calibration.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
I believe it's mandatory, but it's very.
I would have been one shot color.
Yeah, because monochrome is like you have. I mean, at least what my buddy Eric told me out of Cherry Springs is that you have to have calibration frames. You're gonna have so many little dust particles on each and every one of your filters. Take calibration frames. You get them, gets everything go away, and it's better for scientific research as well because you don't want to, produce an image that has a lot of freaking dust on it. And then darks, you have to shoot darks in a particular way. This is why a lot of monochrome users, they just create a dark library, which I have, just because I don't want to sit through, 10 to 15 dark subframes at, 3 minutes each, and that'll be a lot of time wasted, so. But that's why monochrome is very vital when it comes to like calibration frames and all that stuff.
With each filter that you have, so do you need to take a new set of flats for each filter?
For flats, you have to take a certain amount of flats in each filter. So, but that's very short, like maybe like 2 to 5 seconds. It calculates itself, basically 20 to 30 flats per filter, just to get all the dust out of those particular filters, shooting through that particular, filter, basically. But darks, clear filter, flats, each filter that you shot with throughout the entire process.
Okay. Yep. I'm very anal about making sure that I do all my calibration frames. Like I'm the type of person that I've literally woken up in the middle of the night to do calibration frames, like make sure, like especially early on when I was using a DSLR and like had a much less automated system, I'd be up at like 2 or 3 a.m. doing all the calibration frames just to make sure everything was as perfect as possible.
We got to get you to do calibration frames, Nick. We're gonna get you to do calibration frames.
Yeah, that's gonna be a requirement.
Maybe. You know, I was talking to somebody else, Andrew. You know them very, very well. I'm not going to blow his cover up on.
Oh, wait.
On the
Can
podcast,
I guess who it is?
But he also never uses calibration frames.
Is it Matt?
You can guess who it is. Yeah, it's Matt. Yeah. He also never uses calibration frames. So I'm not alone in this. Yeah. Okay. So to keep this party going, keep the show going, we were talking about how you want to do some scientific experiments with this, but what are you imaging right now? With, you're going out tonight. What are you going to image tonight?
I want to go for the boat and cigar galaxies tonight. I want to get some data on those. Obviously, tonight is really, if everything goes well, I can figure out if I'm going to image out tonight. That's my plan right now. Is just the main focus is going after this tilt issue, and then at least getting some subs that I can throw in the PixInsight and then run it through a simulator and see where the tilt's coming from, calculate how to fix it and then go from there, basically. So it's more just getting more kinks out of this setup. But if everything goes well, I'll be shooting boats and cigar galaxies tonight.
Awesome.
Oh, that's cool okay, so they're still up. Wow, and I was shooting them at the beginning of galaxy season. So they're up there for a long time.
Oh yeah. Well, we got a good backyard for it because I'm at my grandmother's house. I don't know if you guys can hear her downstairs talking on the phone through my microphone.
Oh, no.
We can't hear her.
All right, thank God. So I had some people come up to me and they're like, what are you guys, what are you shooting at tonight? And I was like, I don't know, honestly. Some galaxies. That's what I said. They're like, can I look through it? I'm like, no.
The question I always get is, what's going on tonight? That's the question I always get. Like, what's going on tonight? And it's like, oh no, I'm just looking at nebula, and their face just goes like this, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Or they just ask you politely not to look at any neighbors like windows or anything, because I've had that happen.
Oh yeah, I already had a police officer stop and joke with me about that and stuff too. So yeah. I'm imaging the Witch Broom Nebula, part of the larger Veil Nebula. Focused on the Witch Broom Nebula right now. I'm bummed because my last session on it, like I said to you earlier today, Andrew, and I told Brett this, of course, too. It was out of focus. I can't believe I let that happen. But
it's not too out of focus,
it's very noticeable though to me.
Yeah.
But with Cyril, according to the Cyril expert here, those frames will be weighted, but I'll still be able to reduce the noise with them. So it will be okay. As long as I get more hours of it focused. Right, Brett? Right?
Yeah. Because I had a night of North America data that was not focused. And I was also very fun. And it was my first night of North America. So I was like,
this was my first night on Witchburn.
Exactly. So I've been there, done that. And it's still, they're just the lowest weighted frames in your stack. So they'll improve the signal to noise without impacting the sharpness or the, full width height maximum and whatnot. I guess we could get very technical and actually test what the impact is and do like an optimization of that, which I do like to do stuff like that. But
I will give you the subs.
Yeah, honestly, if you give me the subs, I will do the full analysis.
Yeah, go ahead. You can have the subs. That's fine. Brett, what are you imaging? What aren't you imaging? I've never seen somebody image. He's gonna run. He's gonna run through every object
nebula there is.
Sky.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm imaging the Elephant's Trunk Nebula right now.
I can't have anything. I just imaged the.
I know
Elephant's Trunk.
Yep.
And Brett has to copy me of everything that I do. So.
But I'm still very behind on my backlog. So it'll be a long time before I post the Elephant's Trunk.
Backlog.
Yeah.
You're so annoying. Okay, cool. So moving right along, we have some redundant segments that we go through here. I'm watching the time. We're almost at an hour.
Yes. Yep.
I'm a stickler with the time, Andrew.
Nice.
Because it makes it so much harder to edit when it's like super long. And Brett likes to talk. So
yeah, I'm long-winded.
Yeah. So one of the things that we always do is we give
a shout out.
A shout out.
Yes.
Go ahead, Brett.
Yes, the the music will be playing in the background now. And so, yes, thank you to Adam, my brother, for doing the music for the podcast. And we are on episode 10, and he has not noticed this shout out yet. Follow him at Oakbird Audio on Instagram, on YouTube, also Adam Horan on Instagram. So yeah, give him a follow. He does great music, and I'm still waiting on him to notice the shout out, which is why we have it at the end of the episode.
Yeah. And Brett, you love talking about what the near Earth object is. So what is the closest object to us as of July 23rd?
Yes. So I'm going to go. So yeah, I guess we're on the skylive.com, near Earth objects. And the closest date to us for a closest approach was July 22nd, so yesterday. And it was asteroid 2026 OQ1. And it came within 2.2 lunar distances. So 2 times the distance of the moon.
Oh, pretty far.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Is that something is that something you can do, Andrew? Is like asteroid stuff? Is that even possible with your rig?
It's possible actually with any telescope or camera that somebody has in a tracking mount, believe it or not. It's very hard to locate them. They move so fast. So if you're taking a long exposure shot, it's going to look like a giant satellite just went right across your screen. Believe it or not.
Okay. You know what's funny? I just noticed your Boston accent come out when you said it's hard to see them.
Oh yeah. I told Brett about that a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can always tell I can always tell what part of the country Andrew is from when he's talking to me on Instagram, because he'll say wicked. So I'll be like,
I pointed that out too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. My cousin,
I know exactly where he's from.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Boston kid.
Yeah.
Boston kid.
Yeah. I work. One of my coworkers is from Boston, and she has a thick accent. She's cool. Shout out Carrie. Hi, Carrie. Okay, so that's pretty much wraps up the show. Andrew, we really appreciate having you on the show. I think you definitely brought a different perspective to the show, talking about like the scientific aspect that we can do as astrophotographers. So I really appreciate that. Is there anything else you want to add for our viewers to know or anything at all?
Honestly, just keep looking up. There's so much stuff out there. It's at the palm of your hands. Just use your eyes to look up, because it's pretty damn cool what you can find out and what you can see with your own eye, believe it or not. It's a whole different universe out there, guys. So we need more people to look up, speak up, and just keep being themselves, because good things will happen.
I love that.
Yes.
Well said.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm going to leave it on that because that was perfect. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Mm-hmm. Brett, you're on cue the music.
Yes, and cue the outro music from my brother.
All right. See you everyone. Bye.